8 ways estrangement changes you. Parental estrangement doesn't just change a relationship, it changes the parent. Over time, many parents realize that the experience reshapes how they think, how they respond emotionally, how they see other people, and even how they understand themselves. Some of these changes are painful, some are unexpected, and some reflect a kind of strength that develops only after surviving something deeply disorienting. In this video, we're exploring 8 ways estrangement often changes people. Estrangement is not simply a disagreement or a period of distance. For many parents, it represents a rupture in one of the most central roles of adult life. The emotional impact can affect identity, trust, relationships, and the nervous system itself. Because of that, the changes it produces are rarely temporary. They become part of how a person moves through the world. Some of those changes feel like losses. Others, over time, begin to look more like adaptation. 1. You see relationships more realistically. Many parents describe losing certain illusions about how relationships work. Before estrangement, it may have been easier to believe that love, effort, or patience would eventually solve most conflicts. Estrangement can challenge that belief. You begin recognizing that relationships also involve perception, influence, emotional maturity, and sometimes dynamics that are not entirely within your control. This realism can feel harsh at first, but it often brings clarity. 2. Your tolerance for chaos decreases. Estrangement is emotionally exhausting. Over time, many parents find that they become less willing to tolerate ongoing instability in other areas of life. Situations that once felt manageable, constant drama, manipulative behavior, or unpredictable conflict, may now feel draining rather than tolerable. This shift is not necessarily bitterness. It is often emotional fatigue combined with a stronger sense of personal limits. 3. You become more aware of hidden pain in others. After experiencing estrangement, many parents say they notice suffering in other people more easily. They recognize the quiet grief behind someone's smile. They hear the hesitation when someone talks about family. They understand the weight of loss that isn't always visible. Pain changes perception. It often deepens empathy. 4. You think more carefully before judging other families. Before estrangement, it can be easy to assume family relationships follow predictable patterns. A parent must have done something wrong. A child must be reacting to something obvious. But estrangement teaches how complicated family dynamics can become. Many parents say they become far slower to judge situations they cannot fully see. 5. Your emotional resilience increases. In the early stages, estrangement can feel overwhelming. But over time, surviving something that painful often produces a different kind of resilience. Not loud strength, not dramatic toughness, but the quiet recognition that you have endured something extremely difficult and are still functioning, still caring, and still moving forward. That realization changes how you see your own capacity. 6. Your identity expands beyond the parental role. Estrangement can force a painful question. Who am I outside of being a parent? For many people, the parental role occupies such a central place in identity that its disruption creates confusion and loss of direction. Over time, however, many parents begin rediscovering parts of themselves that existed outside that role. Interests, goals, friendships, creativity, personal growth. Areas of life that may have been secondary before begin reclaiming space. 7. You become more protective of your peace. After experiencing prolonged emotional upheaval, many parents develop a stronger instinct to protect their inner stability. They become more selective about where they invest energy, more aware of emotional boundaries, less willing to remain in environments that constantly produce distress. Peace becomes something actively protected rather than accidentally maintained. 8. You develop a different kind of strength. Perhaps the most significant change is the strength that develops quietly over time. It is not the strength of someone who avoided pain. It is the strength of someone who learned to carry it. Estrangement forces people to confront grief, uncertainty, and emotional ambiguity in ways few experiences do. Surviving that process often produces a steadiness that cannot easily be shaken. Estrangement changes people, there's no way around that, but those changes are not always purely negative. Alongside grief, many parents develop deeper insight, stronger boundaries, expanded empathy, and a resilience that grows slowly but steadily. Pain reshapes us. Sometimes it also strengthens us. If estrangement has changed you, you're not imagining it. Experiences this profound leave a mark. But change does not always mean damage. Sometimes it means adaptation. Sometimes it means growth. And sometimes it means discovering strength you never expected to need. If this video resonated with you, you're welcome to like and subscribe to Depth of the Quiet. You can watch quietly without pressure to engage. And if you feel safe sharing your experience, the comments are open. Your story might help someone else realize they're not walking this road alone.